Okay, this is lesson 64, angles interior to circles. We're going to go over a few theorems and I'll explain the relationship between these, and then you'll know which pattern or which formula to follow when you're solving these. Okay, so theorem 64-1, it says the measure of an angle formed by a tangent and a chord. So let me show you where that is. Here's the tangent, y'all see this? Here's the chord. You see how they make an angle right here? That's what they're talking about. When you see that, you know that it's equal, the angle is equal to half the measure of the arc that subtends it. That's just fancy talk for this angle is half of the arc. So, you see these formulas right here? They're trying to tell you that angle ABC is half of arc BEC. So what I just showed you, this is half of this. And also angle CBD, that would be right here, is half of its arc. So if I tell you this is 25 degrees, you're going to tell me that its arc is
50.
Yes, 50 degrees. If I tell you that this arc is 60 degrees, you're going to tell me the angle is 30 degrees. You got it. That's the relationship between an angle made by a tangent and a chord and its arc. And we'll work some of those so it makes more sense. You just have to remember these formulas and the relationship that the angle makes with the arc. Sometimes, especially when you're working the homework problems, they like to play tricks on you in the sense that you have to know a circle is how many degrees all the way around? 360. Because what they'll like to do is give you this arc and ask for this angle. So you need to do 360 minus what they give you here so you can find this one. Or you find this angle by taking half of this arc and then minusing it from 180, because you know that these two angles make this 180 straight angle. So either way y'all want to do it, it's kind of like a puzzle, a logic puzzle, which I know you all love. Okay, theorem 64-2. The measure of an angle, this time formed by two chords. So make sure you recognize the difference between this and this. This is a tangent and a chord. This example is two chords. Are you paying attention? You see what I mean? So don't get the two formulas confused. All right, so the measure of an angle formed by two chords intersecting in a circle. So you see angle 1 and 2. It's equal to half the sum of the intersecting arcs. So what that means is measure of angle 1 is half of AD and BC. So here's angle 1. I would add this and divide by 2. And also for angle 2, I would add AB and DC and divide by 2. Okay? So it's kind of like with this one, you'll look at this. And with this one, you'll look at this. Once again, we'll work some problems so it makes more sense to you. Let's start with the first theorem, where it talked about tangents and chords. Tangents and chords. Okay, so in this problem, they want us to find measure of angle ABC. And over here, they want me to find arc PR. So, what are your thoughts? How do you think I'm going to solve for the measure of angle ABC?
Divide 188 by 2.
Perfect. It tells us in the theorem that if we divide by 2, because the arc is double the angle, or another way to say that is the angle is half the arc. Well, since they gave me the arc, Harper knew to divide by 2, and what does that give me? 94 degrees, and then write this for me, measure of angle ABC. Simple enough, especially when you know the formula. Now this time they gave us the angle and they're asking for the arc. Over here they gave us the arc, asking for the angle. This time they gave us the angle, they're asking for the arc.
Isn't it 60?
Very good. Logan said 60. He knew that we needed to double it. "60 degrees is the measure of arc PR." Okay, now let's look at a problem related to theorem, the second theorem, 64-2. Notice how they want this angle right here, okay? They give us the arcs that go with that angle.
Wouldn't we just add those up, divide them by 2?
That's all you do. So let's write that out algebraically so it'll look good in your notes. So x equals the sum of the two arcs that were given, divide by 2. So punch that in your calculator and tell me what you get. 132.5. Now, you'll either write it like this for me in your homework, or you can write it like this. But I need to see a degrees symbol somewhere. Okay, why don't you try the very bottom example on your own? They're asking for angle 1. Gabby, when you're ready, will you walk me through this one?
Yes. So would you do 86 plus 50 divided by 2?
86 plus 50 divide by 2. And what'd you get, Gabby?
68 degrees.
68 degrees. Good job. Okay, you guys try these 3 problems, and then I want to see your answers when you're finished, please.